Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Food. I am Chef Marvin Woods. I have collaborated with Dr. Akua Woolbright on making some amazing, that's right, I said it, amazing vegan and vegetarian recipes. This, my friends, is a dessert. Now, I'm just gonna tell you straight out, up front, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but you wait for it, patience. The reason why it's gonna take a little bit of time is because of the crust. So the crust is definitely a process. It's mix all the ingredients together, not elaborate ingredients, just mix all the ingredients together, let it rest in the refrigerator, pull it back out, roll it, bake it, pull it back out. But the end result, you will be very happy, all right? Let's get started. Flour, I'm using cassava. That's my go-to when I want to be GF. Vegan butter, a little bit of sugar, some salt, cornstarch. That part is easy, right? These are all things that you probably have in your pantry already if you are cooking at all. Combine those ingredients, that was the flour and the sugar and the cornstarch. So I put all the dry together, and this is my vegan butter. It's cold. And this is very important when you're making any kind of pastry, dough. You want it to be cold. Reason why is you want the flour, you want the dry ingredients to stick to the butter. What happens is it'll form a type of crumb texture. You'll work it a little bit. It will form a ball, and then you can roll it out. This is a cutter. If you don't have one of these, you don't need to go out and buy it. You can use a fork. It works. But what happens is these little blades, for lack of a better word, it's not sharp, but these little blades actually push and force your butter into the flour to help it incorporate. And you do this for, I don't know, a minute, 2 minutes. If you can see, it's starting to come together. All right, once you're there, you will add a little bit of water. Now, you don't have to worry about me freehanding the measurement because, again, all of the measurements are on the website. All the recipes are measured out. All you have to do is follow them. So I am just adding enough to create a ball. And I am just about there. So I'm going to dump this out. Put that over there. Now you don't want to overwork it. Once you have this ball, we will wrap this and it goes to the refrigerator. All right, so I'm going to clean my hands and we're going to go to the next step of building this amazing tart. Okay, now, I made some ahead of time so we can go through the process quickly and I can show you all the steps. Remember I told you we rested the dough, put it in the refrigerator? We have then pulled it out and baked it, right? What I use are some dried beans. Use any kind of dried beans you want. I use tin foil, you can use tin foil, you can use parchment paper. You want something to separate the beans from your actual crust, and you want to put this in the oven, whatever you're going to bake it in, for roughly 10 to 15 minutes. What happens is it sets the crust. Once that's done, you pull it out, and when you can handle your foil or whatever you're using, then you pull it out. Okay, so now your crust is pre-baked. Not baked all the way, it's pre-baked. It's going to finish baking once you add the rest of the ingredients. So I have a tart cherry, so we have tart cherries. Okay. I soak these because they come dried a lot of times. Regular water, soak them for a couple hours, and they become nice and plump and juicy. I use my fig or date paste to sweeten this. And then I'm going to use a little cornstarch to thicken it. And basically it forms a compote. All right? So that's the end result that we're looking for. So I'll put this fig in here. And talked to you guys about slurry before, but just to remind you, this is nothing more than cornstarch and water. And you want to go in using a little bit at a time so you can control the thickness, okay? So that's what this is. So we're gonna swap places and we're gonna build a tart. So it's called the Almond and Tart Cherry. These are just ground almonds that I'm gonna layer in first. Nice little thin layer. I'm gonna layer my cherries in. Now with my cherries, I'm gonna use just a little bit thicker hand and layering these in. And then, you know what? I like using my hand. I'm gonna finish it off like that. And if you want, you can put a little bit more cherries on there, but I think it's pretty good right now. Okay, so this goes in the oven and then it bakes for the allotted time. The best way to check it is, again, toothpick or a thermometer. Go into the center and it'll come back pretty clean, but a wet clean. So there might be a little bit of tart cherries stuck on there or whatever, but that's okay, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's already cooked. What we're doing now is incorporating all the flavors and having that crust completely cooked. At the top of the show, I talked about GF, i.e. gluten-free. So basically, I refrain from calling anything gluten-free. I just say made without gluten. So check your packaging. All flours aren't the same. If you're looking for a flour that is GF, you would go with a cassava, you would go with a corn, you would go with rice. Just check the package. It'll say on the package GF if you want something that's gluten-free or free of gluten particles. All right? This will go in the oven. Thanks for watching.